Okay, so now we are going to do a fun activity where you get to choose how you're going to spend $100,000 of pretend money. So, what I have done is I have gone through some different companies and I've looked up their stocks and I have seen what kind of change they had during that day. The reason I wanted to look at the change is because I wanted to show the integer that would help us with positive and negative numbers, which is something you're going to do a lot in seventh grade. So, one thing you want to do when you're investing is called diversify your portfolio, which means you want to have a bunch of companies from different types of businesses. So, instead of having all technology businesses like Facebook, Snapchat, Apple, Microsoft, Google, the problem if you had all your money in those is what if something happened to the internet? What if there was a catastrophe and another country took out our computers or our internet, and there was no longer Facebook, Snapchat, Apple, Microsoft, Google, none of that existed. If all of your money was in those companies, you would now be completely broke. Same thing happens with food. You don't want to put all of your money into food items because what if there was a big Chipotle had an incident once where they had bad lettuce or something, and people were getting sick. So people weren't going to Chipotle, which meant their stock went way down. So you want to make sure that you're trying to think of companies from a bunch of different areas. Some of the areas that I thought of were like entertainment, food, clothes, technology, shopping. But the cool thing here is most companies have have stocks. So you can look at those. And so let's kind of look at how I filled these in. So first of all, I kind of put the category they were in. Then I named them the Disney Company, WWE, Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment, I think is what it is, Netflix, food, McDonald's, etc. Then they have a ticker symbol, which helps you to look it up a little easier. But I have found just going to Google and typing in the company stock is just as easy. This is how much it is per share. So if I want to buy one share, I would spend $133.84 to own one piece of Disney. And one share would probably be not even a whole, it would probably be like hundredths of a percentage. And this shows me that it had a gain of 62 hundredths or 62 cents. So the integer that would represent that gain would be a positive 62 cents. So you can kind of see here, Facebook had a loss the day I looked at it of $2.65. So to represent that it went down, they use a negative symbol here. So let's go now to the internet and look up Amazon stock, and I'll show you how you can fill this in for yourself. So all I did was go to Google, and then I just type in Amazon, oops, stock. Sorry, it's kind of out of your, whoop, ah. So I just typed in Amazon stock price, and then this is a pretty cool mathematical demonstration here. So this is on the NASDAQ market, which there's different markets I don't know a whole lot about, but that might be something if you are interested, you could look up. The NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, I know is two of the common ones. And then here you can see that just one share would be 1,869.67 and 67 cents. The USD stands for United States dollars, and this red represents that it went down by 63 cents. And I don't know when that was. It was probably just recently that it went down, and that's a loss of 34 thousandths of a percentage, and you can see that little arrow is also telling you that it's going down. This is a cool graph that kind of shows you how it's been growing. So you can see if you have a stock that's on the growth, you want to be kind of buying here would be ideal, and then letting it grow, 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 grow. Boom. And then if you could sell there, that's when you make your most money. That's why it's so tricky, because you never know when you're going to be down here. If you bought it down here and then all of a sudden you could sell it up here. We can see over here on the y-axis that this is the price per share, 169, etc., kind of going up here. So you can see the scale is going by fives. Down here is the time of day. So this is just today and how it fluctuated. We can look up here and see how it fluctuates over the month. So this would be even better because this person bought it at $1,520.91. And if you just bought 5 shares, and then up here it's 1,950 $50 per share, and you sell that, you means you made $400. So it's kind of fun to look at these. Let's look at it over 5 years, how Amazon has grown. Now, this person really did well. If you could have bought it here when the company first opened for only $324.20 a share, and then you follow it to like here, and now you're selling it for $2,000 a share, that's a pretty big increase. So $300, let's just round it, $300 to $2,000 means they made $1,700 per share that they owned. Now, that's if they chose to sell at the peak right there, and if they bought it at the low point right here. Even selling it here would still be making $1,000 off of every share. But you have to stay in, and notice they stayed in for 5 years. So over 5 years, they were able to make that much money. Again, if they bought and they sold at the right times. So we're going to put this 1,869.67 into our, and maybe I can just highlight that, Control C, go over here. I can Control V and paste it. It's a different size, but that's okay. I can change it here, or I can leave it big. And then I can look at the increase, or actually that was a loss of 0.63. So I'm just gonna, and again, I just want you to see the connection between the fact that it was a decrease and that it is a negative number. So the negative means that it went down, positive means that the price increased. So now let's try Walmart. So I just go back over here and I'm going to do Walmart stock price. So the Walmart stock price is $109.07. So $109.07. And it had, ooh, look, this one's on the decrease here. This one's kind of cool. They're predicting where it's going to be, so you can kind of see how it's doing. Oh, over the month, it is way up again. Down here, it was at $100. Well, and again, the scale makes it look a little different because this is $101. And this scale is only going by 2. So even though this looks like a huge increase, it's really only an increase of $8. So you have to look at your scales and look closely. So this one stayed pretty steady. It started at $75. Now it's up to $100, so you can make $25 per share. If you would have stayed in it that long, again, you're not making as much as Amazon, but you didn't have to invest as much either because you can buy a lot more shares at $109 than you can at $1,000. Notice that this is a plus 0.42, so that means that the stock price went up. We had an increase. So we can put that in here at 0.42. And these are constantly changing, so we're just going to, at the time that you look at it, whatever the price is when you look at it, that's what you're going to get. And you can think of your favorite video game companies or your favorite food restaurants that you like to go to, favorite clothing stores, anything that you spend money on. Utilities, gas, water, electric might be a good idea to invest in. Everybody always needs those. So any company that you're interested in, see if you can find it, because your job is then going to be to go to your Schoology class, and on June 17th, which should be today or whatever day you're here, in the June 17th folder, you're going to open that up, and then the stock ownership sheet is here. It's going to tell you how this is the sheet that you need to fill out with your $100,000. Yeah. So here is what you're going to fill out. So you're going to choose which company you want to make your stocks from. You're going to choose which companies you want to use your stocks from and how many, what the price per share is, and then how many number of shares you want to buy. And then that'll tell you your total price. And you're going to buy stocks until you get up to the 100,000. So for instance, if the first company that I wanted to invest in was Netflix, their ticker symbol is NFLX. And their price per share when I looked at it was 346.28 per share. And I think I'm just going to start now. I'm just going to start somewhere close, and I'm going to start with 100 shares of that. So if I have 100 shares at 346.28, that means that I'm going to spend $34,628 on those shares. So I'll probably keep a running list next to me of my $100,000, and then I'm going to subtract the 34,628. So this could be a good time to either practice multiplying with decimals or dividing with or subtracting decimals, and or you can utilize your calculator as well if that's because in seventh grade you will have a lot of opportunities for calculators. So I would probably just keep a running tab of that. Sorry, trying to pull my calculator over. So I just have my calculator here. I can do the 100,000 minus 34,628, which tells me I have $65,372 left to spend. So the next thing I'm going to spend that on is I'm going to spend it on some Starbucks. And again, I just went to Google and Googled in these and found their price per share at the time that I had looked. It's only $77.87. Just to make it easy, I'm going to again go with 100 shares, and I might come back to adjust these to figure out how to spend my 100,000. So I'm going to go through and spend my 100,000 and pause the video until I get that done, and then I will show you what I decided to go with in the end. Okay, here is how I decided to spend my money. I decided to buy 100 shares of Netflix, which cost me 34,628. So subtracting that from 100,000, I still had 65,372 left. Then I decided Starbucks. Even though it's summertime, people still just have their obsessions with Starbucks. So I think they're going to continue to buy Starbucks. So I bought 102 of those at $77.87 each. Then Justice is a part of a company called, I don't know what it's called, but their ticker symbol is ASNA. And I feel like I have spent half my paycheck there on my daughter's clothes. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and buy some of that. It was only $1.02 each. So I bought way more of that. So the possibility, if it goes way up, I could sell a lot of shares and possibly make some money. I don't know. And then I bought some Amazon, and even though that one was super expensive, I could only buy 10 shares of it. It has a good record of going up. It's also somewhere I spend a lot of money on all the time, and I think a lot of people do, so I stayed with that. I then got this weird Shockwave Medical one because I just did some Googling of some stocks that were hot and happening, and they mentioned the Shockwave Medical. I thought, oh, I don't have anything in the medical field, so that would help to diversify my situation. So I bought 103 of those. Dr. Pepper, I didn't realize it was part of the Keurig family, which everybody uses Keurig. I'm running out of time on my video, but you can see how I spent my money here. Now it's your turn to go and spend your $100,000 and buy stocks of your choice. You don't have to spend it all. You could also save some of it just as cash.